Hi, I'm the Miserable Gamer and welcome back. We're looking at a game called Lifeline. It's not a new game, I've just never seen it before. It came up as on offer on Steam, so I grabbed it. It was only a couple of quid, so I thought we'd have a look. Anyway, from what I understand, it's just a text-style adventure. Receiving message. Hello? Is this thing working? Can anyone read me? Who is this? Right, sorry, should have started with that. I was just excited to get a response to my signal. My name's Taylor. I was an astronaut on board the starship Varia. What happened? Our ship crashed on some moon. I have no idea where. I managed to get to an escape pod, but I couldn't tell if anyone else made it into one. My IEVA suit sensor tells me that the area here is breathable at least, so at least that's nothing short of a miracle. But I've got no food or water rations on me. The toolkit on the pod is about as basic as they come. I managed to get the pod's mobile transmitter working, but lucky you seem to be the only one in the range of the signal. Whoever and wherever you might be. Are you alright? Let's see, my ship just crashed in the middle of nowhere. No one hailing on this frequency, and I don't see any survivors other than me. The least prepared person in existence for this sort of emergency. But I got out of the whole mess with nothing more than a stubbed toe, so things are looking just peachy. Thanks for asking. Sorry about the toe, smartass. Ha, yeah, well, I've been told I use sarcasm as a weapon, and right now I'm not armed with anything else. So let's just hope that if there's anything sort of little green men waiting to jump out and attack me, they're vulnerable to ironic comments and eye-rolling. Anyway, why don't I tell you what I can see from here? I'm gonna wait. I can't read this while it's fucking rolling up and down, so I'm just gonna sit and wait. Anyway, why don't I tell you what I can see from here? Maybe you can advise me on where to go. Alright, so my skateboard came down in some kind of desert. The ground is all cracked white rock. There's a huge white peak a few miles away. Or kilometers, I guess. They tried to get me to think metric for the trip, but some things are just hardwired. It's weirdly symmetrical, like it might not be a natural formation. My IEVA suit's compass places the peak northeast, and then, in the opposite direction, south and southwest to be precise, are two funnels of black smoke from what I assume to be two pieces of the Varia. Best case scenario, it's only in two pieces. The crash sites look closer than the peak. What do you think I should do? Go for the crash, because that's where there's most likely going to be stuff that you can use. Check the crash. Yeah, cool, that makes sense. There might be other survivors, fingers crossed. It's not actually possible to cross your fingers in the IVA suit, but just take my word on it. Or at the very least, there should be some supplies I can use. Okay, I'm headed south now. Looks like the smoke is at least an hour away, or whatever the metric equivalent is of an hour is. I'll let you know when I'm there. Taylor is busy. Do we have to literally wait an hour? Huh. Because I did notice the game runs in the background. So this is going to be interesting to record. Yep. I can't rush time at all. Okay, so we'll come back to this once Taylor reaches his destination. That's all I can do. I'm not going to sit and make you wait for an hour. I'm going to have to sit and wait for an hour. Okay, so we just had another message from Taylor. Holy crap, it's a lot further than it looked. My legs feel like jello, and I'm maybe halfway there. Great, now all I can think about is how much I want jello. So, come back when there's more. Okay, we've had another message. Okay, at long last, I'm in sight of the Varia, or what's left of it at any rate. It seems to have cracked hard once it hit atmosphere. Like I figured, it came down in two major chunks, with a ton of scattered debris thrown around just to make the whole scene look terrifying and post-apocalyptic. In case anyone asks, it's working. I'm appropriately terrified. Looks like the flight deck came down pretty far from the crew quarters. Where do you figure I should go first? Look for the crew. Alright, I'm headed that way. If there are any rations to be found, that's where they'll be. Things look kind of messy, though. Give me a minute to scout around. So I've got no idea how long it's going to take. I mean, the last one he said about an hour. I mean, he's saying give me a minute, so I'm assuming they're saying it's going to take a minute. Otherwise, this could be really difficult to record. Yeah, so how are you guys? I'm okay. It's very hot today. It's we're in this heat that's coming up from France, south of France. It's blowing up. Yeah, so... Okay, well this wasn't unexpected, but still, I found some of the crew. It's... Oh man, hang on. Hello? Are you there? Sorry about that. I had to go be sick behind some moon rocks. So there were a few crew members who were apparently pretty near where the various holes split. I can't tell who they were or how many. They're all sort of fused to the metal or to each other. And I don't know, we've lost some crew. We might have lost some crew and lost pressure. Behind the sealed door to the rear quarters, though, I found the rest of the crew. Antoine, Trotter, Colbert, Alder, all dead. All of them, just dead. I don't see Captain A anywhere. I don't know. I don't think I can do this. Knowing just all of them, every one of them, I just keep moving. Right, that makes sense. The longer I spend staring at them instead of trying to figure out a way out of this mess, the closer I get to joining them. God, that's the most morbid thought I've ever had to think. Okay, so past the bunks, there's a corridor that branches. The way to the galley looks pretty scorched. The other option is the lab. I'm afraid of what I'll find if I check on my rats. If the humans didn't make it, what chance those little guys stand? Try the galley. The door is super stuck. Unfortunately, I'm not above bashing it with scrap metal, because confidentially, I don't think we're going to get our deposit back on this ship. I'm going to keep it this for a bit because this is my best bet of finding rations. If I can just get through this damn door. Okay, I don't want to say this is impossible because that sounds like I'm exaggerating. So let's just say getting into the galley is improbable. Highly, highly improbable. It's starting to get late anyway. The sun star Tower Ceti is getting low on the horizon. I need to think about bedding down for the night. So what do you think? Keep bashing this improbable door in the hope that it gives in before I do? Or forget it for now and figure out my sleeping arrangements? Well, if he's tired, we need to get him to think about sleep. Forget it for now. Cool, thank you. I think I needed someone else to tell me if it was okay to stop beating myself up. So I can either see what, if anything, is left of the lab, or I can start trying to figure out some sleeping plans. What do you think? Guess I'm shut-eye. Alright, let's think through things here and try and figure out what my next move is. And hey, just to add to the magic, it's getting cold, and it's getting really cold. Tower Ceti is down now, and I don't mind telling you it's darker than a goth kid journal and colder than the prom queen's shoulder. So here are my options as I see them. I can stay here in the wreckage, although without power to the ship. I'll wait until he's finished and then I can go back. Oh no, I can hold it. No, I can't stay. I can't hold it. Right. Is he finished? Taylor is busy. Right. I can stay in the wreckage, although without power to the ship I can't reseal any door I've opened, so I'll have a roof over my head, sure, but I will expose the elements. Or I can head round to the rear of the ship and pitch a tent near the reactor engine, which is nice and toasty warm. I can tell from the squiggly heat lines it's sending off into the night. You like that science speak? Squiggly heat lines? That's some advanced level terminology right there. Only problem there's radiation involved in that engine. I'm not precisely sure whether it's enough to roast me overnight. So would you mind doing a little research for me? If I get about 150 rads overnight, will that kill me? My IEVA suit sensor tells me that's about what it's giving off. Can you look that up and tell me and let me know whether it will toast my marshmallows? Thanks. Right, so 150 rads. I'm just going to use my secondary computer. 150 rads. Radiation exposure. I'm not going to show this because I'm not sure of any copyright issues by showing any websites that I might have to look at. Health effects. A dose of under 100 rad will typically produce no immediate symptoms other than blood changes. 100 to 120 rad delivered to the entire body in less than a day may cause acute radiation, but is usually not fatal. Okay, so 150 rads overnight is going to cause some problems. 150 to 300 rads, up to 35% of those who are exposed to radiation to this level would die within 30 days. Right, so given that we don't know what other radiation you might need to be exposed to, I would say no. Let's go with no. Okay, let's wait until he comes back to us. Oh, he's coming back to us. So, hopefully you had a chance to look that up, because it's getting really just stupidly cold in here. What's the verdict? Should I just lay under whatever cover I can find and spend the night shivering in the Varia, or risk radiation poisoning by cuddling up to a faulty fusion reactor? Stay in the ship. Yeah, you know, I think that's the safest bet. I'd rather be a little chilly than a little, I don't know, mutated, or a little dead from radiation. Alright, I'm turning in for the night. It's been, well, I won't sugarcoat, it's been the worst day of my life, but I appreciate everything you've done to help me through. Here's to a better tomorrow. Good night. Right. So that's where we'll leave it for him. Right. Can't feel hands. Freezing cold. Oh dear. He's not doing well, is he? Connection lost. Oh shit, he died. Crap. We've got to go back to the start. Alright. On this run through, it enabled me to... It allowed me to activate something called fast mode, which is here. Now, it said you can fast mode through any weights that you've sat through before. So that enabled me to get to the ship following the same route that we did before. Now, last time I looked for the crew, I'm just wondering if it will allow me to fight, because recording this is an absolute nightmare, because you have to sort of come back to it each time and start recording again. I'm just wondering if it will allow me to fast forward through weights that I haven't weighted. So I'm going to go check the flight deck and we'll see if fast mode will flip through it. Alright, it's going to take me a few minutes to sort through the wreckage. A lot of the heat shielding was stripped on entry, but it seems to have taken the worst of the damage. Most of the instrumentation looks surprisingly intact. Let me poke through this mess. Hot damn, we're in business. Well, I mean, if you keep in mind that most of the businesses fail before they ever get off the ground. So let's play a round of good news, bad news. Good news, I found the ship's distress beacon. From what I can tell, it's totally intact. Which means, hey, I won't be stuck here forever. More good news... More good news, one of the defense turrets is still operational. Yes, that means that 3 of them aren't, but there's also one of me to operate a turret. So in this case, the math works out great. So that means if one of the little green men do come poking around, I'll have more than a smarmy pop culture reference to defend myself with. But now for the bad news, I've got no power for either the beacon or the guns. The reactor came down with the back half of the ship. I'm quite certain we didn't pack any extension cords long enough to bridge that distance, and even if the reactor were right here, I seriously doubt it's in good enough shape to power much of anything at the moment. So I'm going to keep hunting in this end of the Varia to see if I can dig up some kind of alternate power source. Taylor is busy. Oh no. I hadn't found any of the crew up here near the flight deck, but I just found Captain Aya. There's just so much blood, I wouldn't have thought. Oh, holy hell, she's not dead. The captain's not dead. She's got a huge piece of metal through her side, like a support strut or something. It doesn't matter what it is. What do I do? Do I pull it out? Oh, me, she's really bleeding. Oh, no, don't pull it out. If you pull something like that out, she's going to bleed even worse. She will bleed out. So we're going to leave it in. Okay, good plan. Who knows what kind of damage I might do if I yanked it out. The wound isn't really actively bleeding right now, but her breath is really shallow and kind of rattling. The death rattle. It's not good. Oh man, I think there's a good chance this thing pierced her lung. Crack, crack, crack. What am I supposed to do? She needs a surgeon. Make her comfortable. Comfortable? What? While she dies? Look, as far as I know, she's the only other living person on this rock. I owe her more than just a nice memory foam pillow under her head while she bleeds out. If there's a chance of stabilising her, I've got to do it. This damn Ford med supply cabinet is scorched over. I need a crowbar and a power drill. And with my luck, I'd injure myself so badly that I'd have to use all the contents on myself if I ever did get it open. There's another med locker in the rear of the ship, by the crew quarters. I've got to go for that one. He's gone. Okay. I'm at the wreckage of the crew quarters, and well, this wasn't totally unexpected, but still, I found some of the crew. Oh man, hang on. Sorry about that. I had to go be sick behind some rocks. So there were a few crew members who were apparently trapped near where the Varia's hull split. I can't tell who they are or how many. They're all sort of fused to the metal or to each other. And I don't know. We've lost some crew and we lost pressure. Behind the sealed door to the rear quarters, though, I found the rest of the crew. Antoine, Trotter, Colby, Adair, all dead. All of them just dead. I don't think I can do this. Knowing that all of them, every one of them, I just keep moving. Right, you're right. If I stop moving now, Captain Arno will end up dead too. Right now, she's all I've got. There's a lot to sort through here. Give me a few minutes. Okay, good news, bad news time again. Good news, no med kit that I could find. I could get into the cabinet just fine, but the kit was gone. Somebody must have taken it for something and not put it back before the crash, so it's probably still around here somewhere. But good news, the Varia had 2 medical stasis pods on board. One is so much scrap metal now, bad news, but the other is still intact and all functions have a green light. How do I know, you might ask? Because I found a portable generator, and then I did a little portable generator dance. It's small, but it'll keep the stasis pod running for days. And the pod might not be able to heal the captain, but it'll keep her wounds in check and keep that lung from getting any worse. It's going to be a pain in the arse to haul the pod and the Ginny all the way back to the captain, though. You think I should bring her up here or try and rig this thing up to move it to her? Moving her is probably not a good idea, but he's going to have to move her to get her into the pod, but that's a long way. Move the pod. Right, that's a safer plan, so as long as I can figure out some way to get this pod over there quickly. You know what will come in handy is one of these things is... No. Ah, yes, a hover mode. Well, this is going to suck some extra power from the Ginny, but I'm not going to look a gift hover horse in the mouth. That's exactly how the old saying goes, right? Okay, I'm headed back to the captain. I'll message you once she's safe and sound. She's in, and the pod says she's stabilised. Blood loss is dangerous, but not at critical levels yet, and this will keep the lung perforation from getting worse. Oh man, I'm not alone on this stupid rock. This feels like a miracle. Don't celebrate yet. Yeah, of course not. Stable doesn't mean better. Plus, I've got to figure out how to get us rescued and get her some real medical attention. In the meantime, what? I guess I should go see to the rest of the crew, right? I mean, they're just lying there. I'm heading back to the other half of the ship, bringing the captain and a stasis pod and the Ginny with me. I'll message you once I'm there. Surely that's going to take up power, though. So after a depressing trudge across a barren wasteland, we arrive once more at the crewless crew quarters. My life has become a bad middle school poetry. So I guess my options over here are either grave digging or else exploring the ship further. Okay, dig the graves. Alright, here goes. I'm going to get the rest of the crew graves dug and inter the crew, which I think will be a really good thing. Just to have some sort of closure, you know. I want to come up with a few words to say over each of them. I'm going to take a little private time while I work. I'll get back to you in a bit. Well, that's it. Everyone is buried. I guess there's nothing for it but to keep exploring this end of the ship. Okay, so past the bunks, there's a corridor that branches. The way to the galley looks pretty scorched. The other option is the lab. I'm afraid of what I'll find if I check on my rats. If the humans didn't make it, what chance do those little guys stand? Try the galley. The door is super stuck. Unfortunately, I'm not above bashing it with scrap metal, because confidentially, I don't think we're getting our deposit back on this ship. I'm going to keep at it for a bit, because this is my best bet at finding rations. If I can just get through this damn door. Okay, I don't want to say this is impossible, because that sounds like I'm exaggerating. So let's just say that getting into the galley is improbable. Highly, highly improbable. It's starting to get late anyway. The sun, star, Tau Ceti is getting low on the horizon. I need to think about bedding down for the night. So what do you think? Keep bashing this improbable door in the hopes that it gives in before I do? Or forget it for now and figure out my sleeping arrangements? Forget it for now. Alright, we're heading back to where we went before. Cool, thank you. I think I needed somebody else to tell me it was okay to stop beating myself up. So I can either see what, if anything, is left of the lab, or I can start trying to figure out some sleeping plans. What do you think? Go to the lab. Well, it's time to play good news, bad news. Good news, all my handwritten notes on the maze running and the food-seeking habits of sprague crawly rats in various gravities, they're totally intact. So you can stop worrying that this whole trip was for nothing. We got the goods. Bad news, their cage looks like it's been through a cage match, half-crushed, warped from the heat, and the rats are nowhere to be found. I'd love to believe that they escaped into the ducts and they're going to start repopulating this barren moon. I'm going to leave my notes here, who knows, in a million generations these could be the planet's sacred historical text. Goodish news, I won't starve to death. I have rat food pellets and a half full ball spout water bottle. Look at that, I called it half full. Feeling more optimistic already. So I guess I can count my blessing and snack on rat food for a while. Or that can be a distant plan B and I can go hunting for people food. Stick with the rat food for now. Ah, yum. Rat pellets may count as calorific intake, but they're not about to win any awards for flavour. If I could close my eyes, I can imagine they're... no, it's no good. I doubt anyone could trick themselves into thinking that these were anything other than what they are. Eating rat food on the moon. Sounds like a lousy prog rock album. Tastes like one too. Okay, it's a pretty good incentive to try and get into the galley and get some real food. Either that, or I'm going to start making plans to bunk down for the night, and just hope that I dream about something that will get this taste out of my mouth. Try the galley again. Man, you're a glutton for punishment, as long as it's somebody else's, huh? Alright, against my better judgment, I'll take another swing at it. I totally pulled my shoulder out of joint, and it was totally worth it, because I'm in a great deal of pain while at the same time eating chili mac or only drinking bottled water. This chili mac is kind of nasty while at the same time being the best thing I've ever eaten. It'll be gone soon, sadly, and then I'll have to deal with that shoulder that I repeatedly hammer against a dead hydronic door to get to the chili mac. But that's a problem for 3 minutes from now, Taylor, and I think we can all agree this beats rat food any day. So I've got food and water taken care of and rat pellets as a fallback plan. Guess it's about time to think about bedding down for the night. Alright, let's think about things here. Try and figure out what my next move is. The crew is all buried. The stasis pod is humming along nicely, keeping the captain alive and well, or at least alive. Still, as long as the Ginny is powered to the pod, there's no way for me to fire up either the distress beacon or the gun turret. I'm not so worried about the turret. I seriously doubt there's anything else living on this rock besides me. But without the beacon, how will anyone know I'm here and alive? How will I ever get rescued? After everything, I can't unplug the captain for my own sake. Can I? Oh, that's tough. That is tough. Right. Without the beacon, the captain and he... What's his name again? Taylor. Without the beacon, both of them die. With the beacon, the captain may die, but Taylor may get rescued. is there a chance to find something else to power the beacon? And if he's got water, he can last 3 weeks, even if he hasn't got food. Yeah, without food, he can last 3 weeks. With water. If he's got water and food, he could last a lot longer. Sorry, it's my phone beeping. What to do, what to do. I think we'll keep powering the pod for now. Right, of course, there's no way I'd let the captain die now, not after everything she's been through already. Maybe in daylight tomorrow I'll be able to figure out some way to get the beacon working. Some part of me thinks they picked the wrong science student for this trip, or that I picked the wrong trip. Either way, this has got to be worth some bonus points on my final grade. Tau Ceti's down now, and I don't mind telling you it's darker than the Goth Kid journal and colder than the Prom Queen's shoulder. So, here are my options as I see him. I can stay here in the wreckage without power to the ship. I can't reseal any door I've opened, so I'll have a roof over my head, sure, but I'll be exposed to the elements. Or I can head round to the rear of the ship, pitch a tent near the reactor engine, which is nice and toasty warm. I can tell from the heat squiggly lines it's sending off into night. You like that science speak? Squiggly heat lines? That's some sort of advanced level terminology right there. The only problem is, though, there's radiation involved in that engine, and I'm not precisely sure whether it's enough to roast me overnight. So would you mind doing a little research for me? If I get about 150 rads overnight, will that kill me? My IEVA suit sensor tells me that's about what it's giving off. Can you look that up and let me know whether it will toast my marshmallows? Thanks. So hopefully you had a chance to look that up, because it's getting really just stupidly cold here. What's the verdict? Should I just layer up under whatever cover I can find and spend the night shivering in the Varia? Or risk radiation poisoning by cuddling up to a faulty fusion reactor? Now, we know... Sorry, I've got to have a drink. Mouth's dried up. Right, so we know from our previous run, staying in the ship, he dies. So our only option... 150 rads is going to give him radiation poisoning. We know that. But staying in the ship is going to kill him. So we're going to camp out by the reactor. I've got to be honest with you, I'm really nervous about this. I mean, you've gotten me through this day so far, definitely the worst day of my entire life. I put it up against any worst day of pretty much anybody's life, anybody, confidently. So I'm going to trust you on this. I mean, either you looked it up and you know I'll be safe at these radiation levels, or else you didn't bother to look it up and you're just blowing me off. I guess I won't know until I wake up in the morning. And with that cheery thought, good night, wherever you are. Here's to a better tomorrow. Hey, check it out, I'm not dead. I don't even have an ear growing out my forehead or any other weird toxic radiation mutations. Nice. Okay, fresh new day, same old moon. Maybe I'm oversharing here. But I woke up with a horrible taste in my mouth. Rinsed it with some water, spat it out, and I had a weird green tint to it. Oh, that sounds like radiation sickness. Probably something to do with the trace elements in this place's atmosphere. But still, pretty strange, huh? Radiation sickness, maybe. Oh, God, you think? I don't feel bad or anything. No headache, no nausea, no nothing like that. Apart from the whole lost in space aspect of the thing, I actually woke up feeling pretty good this morning. It's just green spit. It's a little weird, huh? Man, sure I hope it's not radiation poisoning. It'd be tough finding a matching bone marrow donor around here. Anyway, at least I got the rations to get the taste out of my mouth. I'm thinking a little maple sausage, closest thing to breakfast in these pouches. Maple sausage? Wow, yeah, I'd love that for breakfast. Let me chow down and freshen up as best I can. I'll drop you a line in a few minutes. Well, that was delicious. Isn't quite the word I'm searching for. Maybe sustenance is, maybe just barely. But it should hold body and soul together for a day's field trip. The generator is still humming or happily pounding the stasis pod, and Captain and I are still stable inside. Well, I prefer healed, but oh well. I guess when it comes to miracle technology, you take what you can get. Anyhow, with her stowed safely away, I can step out for a few hours. Should be plenty of time to check out that strange peak to the north. And maybe make it back to the Varia before nightfall. Just one more pass over the ship, make sure everything's locked down. And then I'm packing out some rations and water and heading out. I'll keep you posted along the way. Back to where my escape pod came down. It looks like it rolled over during the night. I guess the wind caught the chute and dragged it a little ways. Damn, must have been some pretty high winds. It probably moved 10 feet. But hey, That's only, what, 3 meters? Doesn't sound so far. Things are getting less freaky and metric. Damn, looks like the path I was on is blocked off. I was tracing this shallow canyon, but I hit this huge boulder, way too big to climb over. What do you reckon? Should I look for some way around it, or back out the canyon and try another path altogether? And on that note, I'm going to leave it there for this episode. Hope you're enjoying that. If you are, please hit the like and subscribe button. It enables notifications by hitting the little bell icon, so you get informed new videos I put out. Leave me a comment below, let me know how I'm doing. It'd be great to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.